That's Jim, and welcome to the After Show, proudly brought to you by the Get Haunted Paranormal podcast program. This is a place where we can deep dive and connect with the audience about our content and just general questions and context of the video that you don't always get in the live streams. And this is a very special episode because it's our first episode. And that's right. So this is our first episode with Get Haunted. And they can kill the music, Jim. You didn't have to run it twice. But yeah, and for our first episode of the after show, we wanted to do our first Get Haunted hunt. It seemed, to line up perfectly. So this episode is the after show of our video that just premiered, Mid-Orange Correctional Facility. And yeah. We're so happy to be here, right?
Yeah, it feels good. I feel like I'm part of a family now.
Hello, Courtney. Thank you for coming. This is great. I don't know. We typically don't do live streams, but we'll figure it out. We'll be good. We'll be better than we are. So kind of how I want to run this. I got a couple highlights from the video we're going to show you. We can talk about it. Yep, it's those boys of Paranormal Nut. That's us.
She means men.
Yeah, the men of Paranormal Nut. For some reason, when you call your show Paranormal Nut, everyone decides to call you boys. I don't know why. Me and Jim are both grown men with back problems, but fine. It makes me
about
feel
knee
young
problems too, Sean.
Yeah. So, like I'm saying, we got a couple clips, and then we might, if you guys watched the video recently and have any questions or comments, we can go through it. We can look through it. I can pull it up and share a screen. And yeah, I think it's going to be very good. But Jim, I guess if you could describe Mid-Orange I'll give you 3 words. 3 words or less. No, you have to precisely use 3 words. Describe your experience at Mid-Orange.
I would say creepy. Fantastical.
Okay.
And mysterious.
Right. And mysterious. Okay. I was hoping for like a short phrase, but 3, that works too. It was
the bee's knees.
The bee's knees. No, I really liked it. I mean, Mid-Orange is massive. Very.
Oh yeah.
Very haunted. I don't even know if haunted is the right word. I do believe it is haunted, but I do.
Hey, Bud Files.
Hello, Bud Files. Nice to see you. Oh, she showed it. Yeah. And it's not just haunted. And I like your use of fantastical there because we think, and as some of you may have seen in the video, we think there are other things going on there, maybe extraterrestrial, maybe elemental. Mm-hmm. We don't know, but we feel that the Hudson Valley specifically, kind of just the north end of the Appalachians, is very, spiritual and whatnot. And there's our favorite, Rob. You actually pronounced my name right, and now I'm going to feel bad when I completely botch your last name. Statuitz. Is that even remotely close? Probably not. We'll just hide the comment, and people won't see how bad I did. Clearwater Beach, Florida. That
stack of wits.
Well, he is a stack of wit. That makes sense to me. Clearwater Beach, Florida. That sounds familiar. I think I was down in that area once.
I know where Clearwater is.
Yeah,
been there before.
Stack of wits. Hello, everyone. It is good talking with you. Show of hands. How many actually watched the video tonight? I want to see if
everybody just puts their hand down.
Yeah, everyone puts their hand down. No one. I know. They the video itself actually had a decent premiere. We had like almost 20 at one point people in there, so did a pretty good one.
Yeah.
727 Paranormal Life. Is that the area code? Like, is that? I'm assuming that's what that is, or is that just your own paranormal thing? Watching it now. Okay, we'll let you catch up.
Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. We'll let you catch up, and then you can come back and kind of see some things. The first thing I have to show, though, is at the very kind of the first 5 minutes. So we'll give a second, and then we'll let that play. Yes, yeah. So area code. See, anytime I see 3 numbers, I just assume area code at this point. All right. So Mid-Orange Correctional Facility, Warwick, New York. We have been wanting to go there. We did the Shanley few months back, and we were talking to our good friend Bill over at Empty Casket Paranormal, also featured in this video.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, you need to go to Mid-Orange, though. It's just in the same like kind of area, and there's just so much things going on there." And so he shanghaied us and convinced us to go. So I don't know if Bill's watching now, but thank you. Hello,
Thank you, Bill.
from Manchester, England. Manchester, I know how to speak.
Manchester.
Wow, we're going Paranormal Nut International, PNI. No, I guess that was posted, right?
Worldwide.
Was that did that get is that public? Rob, is that public? Can I say that now? I think that was a public post, right? Upcoming things.
Yeah, he said it. He did it already came out.
Yeah. The whole
It was like last
international
Wednesday.
end. Yeah. So, I mean, stay tuned for all the good stuff that the people at Get Haunted are bringing us. Yes, yeah. Get Haunted is going international. Woo! I think that's awesome. More eyes on everyone. Seeing all our friends, our paranormal family across the pond. That's going to be great. I love that. Yeah. So, I got some clips. We're going to kind of go through them. I don't want to see your guys' opinions. Maybe you caught it, maybe you didn't. I try to make things as obvious as possible during the edit of the film, but sometimes when I'm wearing like these headphones and I have all my volume pushed up, I don't really understand what the YouTuber hears when they're watching it, or the YouTube viewer. So hopefully these like EVPs come off as good in the video than they do when I'm editing. So yes, we are international. Woo! Get Haunted. Is it? It's got to be GHI, right? Get Haunted International. Anyway, so in the video, the first 5 minutes, Jim, I guess, do you want to talk about your kind of first 5-minute walk down the hallway?
Oh,
Not
yeah.
even, mind you.
It wasn't even 5 minutes. I was a coward. So we were in there, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go out in the hallway and like do a little solo. So I go down. Within like a minute of walking down the hallway, I hit this room, and the vibe I get is like just I feel like I'm underwater. Like it's just like the pressure from that room over there just hit me. It was, and that's when I came back. And Bill made a comment, called me a coward, but
And the spirit box. I didn't clip that, but the spirit box also called you a coward right after Bill said it. It was like mocking you with him.
I was like, yeah, I'll put my head down and walk away.
Jim, you can field this question. It's directed at you.
What?
On the screen right now.
Jesus. I think you got the best shot out there, buddy. All we gotta do is break Kelsey's legs.
Whoa!
We would never do anything like that.
But like if his legs were broken.
But right? His legs happen to be broken.
Vigil is a card. Well, yeah. If I had to give him a card, I'd call him the Jack over there, or Joker. That's a card. That's what I meant to say. Joker. Anyway, going back to the video. So we kind of setting up. We're kind of getting our devices already going crazy, and Bill coaxed Jim to go alone because Jim's a coward and has to be convinced.
Yeah.
So he literally steps out, kicks something on the floor, and seems to get a funny response from the spirits. So add this.
Actually, I do have. Oh wait.
I'm gonna run that again because it's a very short clip. I really need to make these clips slightly longer, but listen closely. Hopefully, you guys can hear it. You guys hear that? Already
We're
loving
loving,
the show.
we're loving you guys.
Yeah, we're loving you guys being here for the show. So I guess before I spoil what I heard, does anyone want to say what they hear? Yeah, some whispering. Yep. Anyone else have comments or concerns, or not concerns, but want to take a guess at what they're hearing? It says ...
Rob is so handsome.
Nailed it.
Actually,
Well-
funny that you say that. When we were in,
well,
we
we'll
were
get to that. That's gonna be that's gonna be like our next clip. So, actually, no. Okay, I know what you're talking about. We'll talk about that. Who's there? That's interesting because I'm actually hearing right there, as in because Jim just kicked something, the ghost is going like right there, like like watch yourself right there.
I like who's there's better.
A penny drop? I don't think I hear a penny drop. We do. There's a point, and it's not actually in this video. It's in part 2 where we think we hear Rob's voice, but that could just be our subconscious, I guess.
No, it was there was another part where the spirit box said Rob.
Oh, I mean, they know him there, right? He's kind of a regular, almost an inmate.
He's infamous. Hello, Steven.
Hello. Everyone wish Steven a happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
This
Steven.
is actually your birthday show now.
A legend.
We've switched it. I would sing, but I think happy birthday.
And when you're in an echoey hallway, your voice sounds like a phantom.
Yeah, every time you do Estes method with Steve, anytime he says anything, it's the only thing that comes through. He's got such a low bass. Hello, Kaylee Baysinger. Nice to have you. I hope I said that. Baysinger? Yep. All right. So, as we continued the night, we did do an Estes method, and we had a pretty funny interaction with the Estes method. So I'm gonna bring this clip up again. You don't hear the box because we actually didn't record it, which we really should in the future. But this is Jim under Estes, and there's a funny back and forth, and I love this.
And this isn't the first time this has happened, by the way.
True. What do you hate? Bitches? Same. What do you like? Gay. Listen. I'm liking this guy. He's very entertaining. Do you have a name? So, I mean, that needs no explanation. That is just the most hilarious, intelligent response that we've gotten in quite a while. We are normally bad-mouthed by ghosts all the time, but that one was fun.
That was just like a straight 30-minute session of this ghost just flirting with Sean.
I mean, listen, sometimes we need to stroke our own egos, right? I had to cut out most of it because it wasn't,
Got too heavy.
13, yeah. Left in the waterbed part, though. Yeah. And then, I guess, this one I didn't catch till after I've kind of did my final cut. I caught it after the fact, and it didn't get addressed in the actual footage. So, again, I will play the footage, and you tell me what you think you're seeing.
That makes sense.
It's, I wouldn't call it the most definitive proof of ghosts out there or anything.
That makes sense.
But it doesn't look like a speck of dust to me. It looks like it's coming from outside. Is it maybe a leaf, even though it's not quite shaped like a leaf? Very maybe a bug, but it's not really shaped like a bug. So I'm not sold on that one. But Jim, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts? Play it again.
It looked kind of not a dandelion.
That makes sense.
What are those called? You can blow them. They're the weed.
Help us out, chat. What's the?
What are those called?
Jeez, I'm blanking
Shoot.
now. Not now, because you said dandelion. All my brain can say is dandelion, and I can't
It's
think.
not
of
a
the actual-
dandelion. It's the the puff blows.
the pop blows. That it's not the dandelion, right? Is it? No.
Dandelion. Back to dandelion. Shoot, I can't even think. It was too cold for bugs
Yeah,
that
and
night.
there were no I don't remember hearing any buzzing or anything like that.
There were no
Hello.
dandelions harmed in the making of this video.
That's a freaking dandelion. I don't know if it's a dandelion, but it might be a plant. But the thing is, like, everything's already dead. You only get like dandelions and like those seeded like sprays like during the spring and maybe summer. And this is, this was dead winter. Well, technically end of fall. So I'm not convinced it's a dandelion, but it is very interesting. Too cold for bugs, too cold for, like seedling plants. Maybe a leaf chopped up. I don't know.
I don't even think a leaf would have floated like that. That was just too light. You know what I mean?
And hello, Alan. I know we were mid conversation. I may have missed that, but hello, welcome. So, our experience. Go ahead, Jim.
Oh, you go ahead. I was gonna start asking you questions.
Oh, I love questions. But I don't know. I was about to say our experience at Mid-Orange was so unique, and the fact that oh God, Mitchell. Not sure about Jim, but as a head host guy, if I changed it, would be Sean. Listen, we approve of flattery here. Flattery will get you a long way.
Yes.
So, but yeah, go ahead. Ask your questions. I was just gonna rant about how much I loved Mid-Orange and need to go back there ASAP.
Rant. I want to hear everything.
You want to hear everything? Okay. Yep. So the fun thing about Mid-Orange is we did it as a Get Haunted event, right? And I know most of you in here probably have been to one. If you haven't, I highly recommend it. And if you want more details, everyone in this chat is probably someone you can ask. You can reach out to me directly. I'll hook you up with whatever you need to know. But there had to be what, 50 people there, Rob, if I'm not like miscounting, but like there was a lot of people, and I was getting kind of worried, right? Because if you have too many people in a place, it gets overcrowded. You start hearing just other people and like,
yeah.
But the thing about it, Mid-Orange is so massive and there are so many buildings that we all kind of, had enough. Yeah, there were 50 people there. 58, I think. And there was enough space for everyone to kind of set up in their own spots and do their own investigations. People were pairing off into their various teams and stuff. And it worked out perfectly. Yeah, we split them up nice. And you can see, like, go back and watch our Penhurst video where we did the Penhurst Paracon hunt, where there's literally over 200 people. And Penhurst is big, but like everyone's everywhere and you can't get a thing for yourself, right? And I'm not saying some people, need to like not be around for things to happen, but it's noise contamination, and not just noise, everything else contaminated wise, like EMF, EVP. You don't know who's turning on their phone and doing stuff. But the fact that you had enough room to investigate without worrying about contamination, just loved it. Loved every second of it.
Unless you're using those special headset that Bill brought out, you could hear it.
Yeah,
damn mosquito flapping its wings from like 10 miles away.
Panasonic mics.
Yeah,
that was fun. That's it. I actually think I cut that completely out just because of video 2, which isn't even out yet, part 2, where it didn't make a great thank you, Vigil. I will hey, listen, if I have one fan, I know Vigil's a fan. That's good to know. If now I lost my train of thought. I
Just
think
getting
I cut
flirted
that
with all
part
the
out
time?
just because it wasn't visually interesting. Like, we're hearing all the cool things that are happening, but we're trying to all stay silent. So we're like communicating like this and like this. I didn't think it was interesting enough for the viewer. So obviously the video is probably I think it's only like the first 2 hours of the night, and we're there for I think it was 6 to 8 hours, something like that. So we're expecting to have like 3 parts total. The next part will come out sometime next year, probably in 2 weeks. But I guess we kind of want to open the floor. I know if you have seen the video, you can ask us anything about the video. If you just want questions answered about content creation, paranormal investigating in general, or paranormal investigating as a YouTuber or a content creator, and how does that change our investigations a bit? Yeah, Steve, we definitely heard a lot of cool things, but again, and I'll kind of talk about it. As a content creator, I have all that footage still and I can go back and watch it all. But putting that out there to the people to watch, it's not interesting for us to just sit there and like mime that we're hearing things, especially since we didn't have that recorded. So we weren't able to even share the sounds. Oh, what was our favorite building at Mid-O? Okay.
A4.
Yeah, so definitely A4, and that should be part 3 if I'm doing my mental math. Shout out to Thomas of Phantasm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get in. We won't talk too much because we won't want to spoil our videos, but we'll give you a kind of a snippet here. We did a double Estes with some of with Phantasm, and then 2 other just patrons of Get Haunted. And so it was probably some of the A4. How are you, mate? Yep. Oh, you guys are just talking in the chat. But A4. So we did this in. Wait, was A4 Phantasm? Or was that A3?
A4 was not Van.
No, A4 was part 2, which is coming out
was
next.
part 2. Phantasm was A3.
Okay,
Which I did have I had a great time in there too.
So yeah, both the spots were amazing, but A3 with Phantasm, we did a cool Estes session. Then A4 with Steve, me, Bill, and Matt, our camera guy, who will probably be on this show going forward, but just too short notice to get him on today. There was just a room, and you know when you go into a place and there's just always that one room that's wrong, and specifically for paranormal investigating, obviously.
We all walked in there, and it was just immediate equilibrium thrown off. Like it was like you walked into a different dimension. It was like wild.
I mean, I don't want to kind of steal Steve's kind of experience, but Steve, if you give me the okay, I'll kind of share your story a bit about what we were discussing and why I sent you that footage. But if not, no worries. But while I was in there, like I did the time recording, like I was only in there. I was only in there for Vigil. I was only in there for 5 minutes, but I swear it's like it felt like a solid 20, 30 minutes almost. Okay, yeah. So see, everyone see I have permission. So Steve, a few days after the fact, he's posting, and if you don't follow Digging Deeper Paranormal, I forget all the various forms you can do that. I know the one group's just a group you kind of talk with us in, but he kind of posts these journals, and in the journal, he was talking about how when he entered that room, he was going back and looking through like footage, and he's like, I don't remember any of this. Like, experienced literally a lapse of time. And as you see in this video, we talk about like we had entities bringing up time and talking about how they hate time, and then the next building we have people experiencing different weird time losses and time extensions or hyper awareness of time. Um, so I think there was something going on in that room, and you'll have to tune in for part 2 to see my solo in there.
And you called me a coward.
So Damien asks, would you change your methods next time you go? I have some strong opinions about this, but Jim, would you change your methods?
I mean, I like trying different things sometimes, like something new, but I mean, we use what has worked in the past. So like we were, for instance, when we were at the Shanley, somebody was like, "Oh, use FM that you get better what is it? Better signal, whatever, better replies." And but we've always done AM, and so everybody else was using FM. They were getting nothing. We stuck with our AM, and we got so much intelligent response when we
were and that kind of goes like, I think the way to do it is have a baseline of how you do things and do your baseline. And we kind of, obviously we use AM and we bust out a spirit box to kind of communicate, try to get intentions. And then we do our various canvassing with, EMF detectors or REM pods or motion detectors and try to find the most active room. But other than that, we're pretty open. But to deviate from that initial kind of investigation style, I would need some really, like, to me, I would do that if it was someone else's investigation that I was kind of a guest on. But if it's my investigation, I have to start it off in a very similar way. And then I modify my investigation throughout the night. Hopefully I have enough time to see which methods are doing better that night. Let's see. Dual S's at Homestead was crazy. 2 people arguing over girls. That wasn't a duel. We had 3 people. If you remember. I mean, you probably, and I actually didn't know because I know me and you were doing it at Homestead, and if that video is online, if you can go watch it, I think the Dual S's is in part 2. So we go under. Well, so Mike goes under first, and me and him would think we're about to just do a duel. So then I go under, and then Are You Afraid of the Dark? Paranormal, great paranormal team. They send one of their people under as well, and we didn't know this, and we were literally, they had a bunch of different colored lights. They had the mag lights, red, green, and they had a purple strip. And we had the flux. So a lot of colors going on. And literally back and forth, me and Mike are arguing. Like, he's going, it's blue. And I go, no, it's purple. Or something like that. And it's yellow. And it was crazy. Let's see. Okay, Vigil. I will ignore you on that one. But any residual effects after the investigation, like dreams or activities outside the building? Yeah, Jim, you can definitely take this one.
The ghost deer.
Right. So, okay, that is my, well, so start off, me and Jim, one of our first trips was to Gettysburg. And we were doing Sachs Bridge,
Eisenhower Bridge as well.
Eisenhower, but I think it was en route to Sachs Bridge, if I recall. No, this was
it was right outside of Eisenhower Bridge. It was right. On that road.
So we're driving to Eisenhower Bridge, and we see a deer in the road. Nothing crazy, right? But there's a fence, a chain link fence, and a tree that's blocking all of it. And this deer we see just kind of walk through the fence and disappear on our way up. And it was pretty crazy. crazy things happen. Maybe we missaw something. We didn't.
Oh
put
yeah,
too
it
much
jumped through the
stock in it.
fence like there's no way it would have fit through the fence.
Yeah.
Like that's the craziest part. And then you
Now,
just see it just boosh, boosh disappear through.
now we're leaving from Mid-Orange Correctional Facility, and I've only talked about this with Jim and Bill, and I don't know if Steve was in that chat either or not. But so I'm leaving, and I'm driving back by myself to New York, and it's 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m. I am completely exhausted. Like, there's a. I'll eventually realize I'm too exhausted, and I'll pull over and stop at a rest stop and like take an hour nap. But at that point, like delirious, investigating for the entire night, I'm literally pulling out onto one of the roads next to Mid-Orange, and I literally see the hindquarters of a transparent deer galloping out of the road, and it was literally like completely ghost. And like, again, I was very delirious. Yeah, it was we were getting chased down at that point.
They thought we got lost.
But in that sense, when I saw the deer, I realized, because first I go, did I just see that? I must be delirious. But then it kind of realized over me, like, I should not be driving right now. And that's when I got to a rest stop and like stopped and like took an hour nap. And then I was good to make it home. But I don't know. I think would you have classed that as a deer ghost or shapeshifter other entity?
We talked about this with the elemental. Like it could have been.
I don't know if it was an elemental, because the thing was,
It
in the
followed
sense
us,
when
though.
I saw it seems to be following us. Elementals, I think, typically stick where they are. But I think it's something more protective spirits, because I do think it was trying to warn us about Eisenhower Bridge, and then I think it was trying to warn me about me being too tired to drive. So I don't know, spirit angel, spirit guardian, spirit animal, or something along those lines, with a protective spirit, or just perhaps my own devolving psyche telling me that I need to focus up here. Rob was nut hunting at 3.
That's what she said. Sorry, I saw it.
Oh, so yeah, that's I mean, that's one. There have been some nights where I get home from an investigation. My dog will sleep with me though. So this is what I like. Obviously, houses move and bump at night, and I have a what's it called? Baseboard water heating. So like when pipes and water and things knock. But there are sometimes like that sounded more like a step. But I have my dog Milo sleep in my bed with me, and if he's not scared, then I don't get scared, because typically animals are more sensitive to that kind of stuff. So I defer to his judgment at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning when I'm getting home from investigation, when I go to lay down. So that's kind of my safety net. Jim, what about you? Besides the ghost deer, any attachments after the fact?
Wouldn't say I had anything after Mid-Orange. I haven't really added like what I always do, like you cannot follow me after every hunt.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying. I always stay vigilant on that. So I don't want anything coming home with me. Even if they're friendly or bad. You don't want an attachment like that. I've had, like, in the past as a kid, we had an attachment at one of my farmhouses when I lived in Canada. So it was definitely evil entity that was attached. But yeah, it's no fun.
Go watch that video on.
Go watch a Devil's Farmhouse YouTube.
Like, subscribe, follow.
Like and subscribe, follow.
Mike, did you get followed home from Saratoga Homestead? Because that's the one night when I got home, I'm like holding my dog and like, please protect me. I think that something may have came home with me, but I think I was good. Was it or was it somewhere else? Did you get the attachment?
Evening, Kent.
Good evening, Kent. So evening, are you out west? I guess maybe in California or something like that. Good morning. Or are you just completely somewhere else and don't know that it's 8:30 here, and I don't consider that evening. I consider that night. But really, when you're a paranormal
Good morning
investigator,
could be England.
yeah. So yeah, that's all I got. I know, like you feel like the cool kids in the paranormal investigating world once you start getting attachments following you home. I always joke that ghosts don't want to follow me home because then I'll just farm them for content and they'll get super annoyed and collect no royalties.
They're like, ew.
Yes, Charlie saw my cat's ears go back. Oh, that's interesting. So, for those of you who don't know, Saratoga Homestead Sanatorium, Saratoga County Homestead Sanatorium, former tuberculosis facility, now now abandoned, but it is owned, and you can go through certain companies to go investigate it. Haunted Nights has kind of made that place famous, and that's Mike is part of Haunted Nights, so go follow them and do all that stuff. But so Charlie is the maintenance facility guy there that's still kind of taking care of the building and kind of watching over everyone because you have like the kids who are there, the nurse, Charlie, but then there's some sort of evil entity that's there, kind of a shadow darker entity that that kind of harasses all the other ghosts. And I think the dynamic is Charlie kind of protects them, and so does the nurse. But at least you've had Charlie follow you home and not the other entity. Yeah, Mike, you definitely go live with us sometime. We do intend to bring people into the show and talk about things. Not tonight, just because we're trying to make our own show as us as the host. But in the future, we definitely will have people on, especially because we did Saratoga Homestead with you. We want to do kind of rewinds or reviews of our videos, so we can bring you on when we do that. I always turn on the radio. I always turn radio on in car after investigation and listen to first song that jumps on, just in case it's a message relayed from the location. Do you ever look for signs similar to that? I'm no. I don't intentionally look for signs after the investigation. So I think if you know in your heart, and like me and Jim say, we always say, "Do not follow me, don't come with me." Um, you're setting that boundary. I'm done looking to communicate with things,
It's
and
like
that
on a Ouija board.
just like on a Ouija board, you kind of set that boundary for yourself. You will probably not have as many attachments follow you home. That's kind of our philosophy. I can't prove any of that, and we think it works. But yeah.
I know for me, it's a weird thing. I always like every time I'm driving home from my hunt, I always like check my rearview mirror a lot because I feel like there's something watching me from the back. But I think it's just me because it's dark and you're driving home.
Yeah,
It's just
you're
creepy. And I
hypersensitive.
watch too many movies.
Yeah, so that tall shadow figure from Saratoga Homestead. Jim, we're gonna get with Mike and we're gonna hunt this shadow figure down.
We're gonna find him.
We're gonna find him and we're gonna get some answers out of him.
We're gonna get some goddamn answers from him.
Right? Why are you harassing these kids and what are you doing? Well said. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have clicked that one. I got Ouija board arms. It can't turn off for me. Yeah, and some people are like that. I do believe some people are just attractors, if you will, and whether that's to spirits or just in general to personalities, right? I kind of talk about this a lot, but I think any human spirit interacts just like any humans would typically. And people who have attractive personalities tend to get more attachments that follow them home. And if you are kind of like a magnetic personality, you will attract people. Kaylee decides your fate. I don't know if that's in reference to us or something else I missed in
Oh,
chat.
because Kaylee said, "Play nice, sir."
Oh, I missed that.
The Virgil.
Yeah.
I love Virgil though.
Listen,
He's got a fantastic personality.
if half of you were the fans like Virgil was, we'd be famous already. No, just kidding. I love you all equally, except for other people. No.
So Sean,
So Jim, yeah.
my question for you: what would you say was your favorite Estes method we did? Which area?
In Mid-Orange specifically, to narrow it down.
Yes.
I would say was that A4 with Phantasm.
Okay.
Just because
That's A3.
Oh, A3, yeah. Jesus, numbers, letters. I think, and I don't want to get into it too much because I don't want to give away, but Thomas Phantasm, great guy. If you see him on one of the Get Haunted hunts, definitely he came up to us and said at the beginning, "You're gonna want to go with me. I'm the fun hunt." And I'm like, okay, guys, sure. But like shortly thereafter, I found out, yeah, he's a blast to go hunting with and investigating with, and I wish we had more time with him at the end of the night, but someone went nut hunting at 3 a.m. and kicked us out.
We did that Estes method was like crazy what we were getting. I was under, so I don't know what was going, but after watching the video, I was like, holy crap.
Listen, I have the dream to get, a van and do what essentially he does all the time. And I think that he's doing that. And I really just want a van. I need to get myself a paranormal sprinter van.
You look like a van kind of guy.
I mean, have you seen the goatee? Let's see. On the way to investigation at Crankham, some license to ill from BC Boys. On the way home, I tend to turn on some Kid Rock, especially God Only Knows. Interesting choices. I don't have, so I would say what we try to do, which has worked for us in the past, but we kind of got away from it just because of the nature. So I like to put on music that's supposed to be contemporary to the human spirits. So when we were in Penhurst, we were playing like music from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, even though obviously they went up to the 70s. But so we were like playing some Chuck Berry. And we wanted to, so in the video we had to cut it up and fast forward it so they didn't like AI hit us for copyright strikes. But music is a great thing to get spirits to open up to you, just because I think music is a form of energy, but also if you're a person, right? Like think about you being at a party and you're sitting in a room that's quiet and some guys just come in and start talking to you. That's kind of annoying. But if there's music playing, they're having a good time, everyone's laughing and joking, the spirits are more likely to engage with you. That's not 100%, scientific fact or anything, but that's just how I operate. I try to treat ghosts like people. And I mean,
they were people.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't, because there are some things that probably were people. S's method A4, A3, and mess hall were all incredible. I need to sit through because that's going to be the mess hall. I remember the stuff I was saying, but I need to see it, what everything was asked, but I know there was some crazy stuff going on.
Some little kid was hungry.
Do you think it was the music or the vibration waves giving off? I think it's not either or. I think it's both. I think, right? I do think music has vibrations, which is energy, just like anything kind of in motion, like water is a big one, or lightning in the atmosphere, things like that. I think music definitely can play to feeding spirits, but also from a vibes level, right? Like you're sitting there and you're talking, with these what are supposed to be human intellects, And anytime I'm having a conversation, I wouldn't mind some music, especially if someone's going to interrogate me all night, right? Rob says Cocky by Kid Rock is his theme song. Is that true, Rob? Is that your theme song?
It is.
All right. Since you guys came to our first show, I'm going to give you a little snippet. Not like anything, crazy, but we may be working on a new Paranormal Net theme song. So stay tuned.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be
Can
good.
I play the other one?
No, you can't. Maybe when we sign off, we'll do that. You can play the other one, but
And we do
not
our
right
dance.
now.
We do a dance
we'll
before
dance
and
off.
after. We do a dance before and after the show. It's a pretty good time. Vigorous.
Evening from Canada.
Canada.
Where is Canada? Do we know where that place? No, sorry. Good evening from Canada. Yeah. Welcome aboard, our Canadian brother or sister or toxic orchid. So I guess you are a flower. So, I mean, you're a flower. We're nuts.
Nutcracker
So
sweet.
like the Nutcracker Suite. Yeah. Oh, and I'm actually noticing now for the first time it tells me if you're on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. I never.
Oh, we had a bunch of people commenting on Instagram. I didn't realize that Instagram comments don't connect.
Oh, do they not? Oh God, we have to.
No.
Okay.
I feel bad. Mama Mauer even commented. I'm like sitting here. I was like waiting for her to come across. I was like, she should be in here. She usually is.
Right. We're sorry for our Instagram followers. We'll have something like pulled up next time that I can.
Yeah, I have it pulled up now. But...
Okay, you have it. Do you want to do some shout outs from Instagram to give them some love if they're still watching?
Yeah, sure. There's Mama Mauer, Active Nugs.
Active Nugs, okay.
Writing Rachel.
Gotta hate those passive Nugs. Hey, Thomas Bolger, we were just actually talking about you. Here, I'll improve
Thomas,
it.
Come on. Now we got to do the whole show over again.
We're restarting for Thomas. Yeah, see, we were talking
Thomas
about
of Phantasm. Hello, sir.
Yeah, that's Thomas of Phantasm. Great guy. And like I said to you all earlier, he came to me at the beginning of the night and was like, I'm the fun paranormal investigator. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. But like, I soon learned that he definitely was. And I should have just listened to him. How many places have you investigated and what's your favorite? Honestly, right now, maybe it's recency biased, but Mid-Orange. Mid-Orange is great. How many places? So
I like the Shanley. The Shanley was really good too.
I started investigating when I was 17, 18, but it wasn't like something I did every single weekend like I'm kind of doing now. So I would say somewhere in the upper double digits. No, I would say middle. So I want to say somewhere between 30 and 50 maybe places I've investigated. Actually, since you are in the same area, hit me up after the fact. I have some kind of local locations that aren't being investigated as much as they should be that I've done, and you probably would be interested in going to one of those. Hey Thomas, good morning. We're gonna be back, yeah, and we're going. That's not even just. Let us know the date so we can book it out. We'll be there regardless. We'll make it happen. Crap, sorry, I was work. It's all good. Got to make the money. Shanley is awesome. We had a great time at Shanley. Thomas is always at work. You guys have to get to. We do have to get to White Hill. We feel like White Hill's one that always comes up, and we're like, we got to go there. And then, like, we'll plan to do it or plan to reach out. And then another hunt comes in and takes its place. And because I'm in New York and Jim's in PA, like, the fact that it's in Jersey just makes it like, oh, now we both have to travel opposed to just one of us traveling. Shamley is one of the favorite places. You need to go to New Egypt. Isn't there a hunt from Get Haunted, or did that just happen? I know you guys are there a lot. Yeah, you guys should check out New Egypt if you haven't. Would you say the building is made of mixed difference? You know what? I have not considered that. I normally think of the geologic features. I never thought of what the building is made of.
Well, you look at like stuff like conductivity, like inside. Like I mean, if you go into whole theories of like the pyramids and everything, they said that it was like a power plant. I'm sure there's a lot of
Gentlemen?
energy in there, gentlemen.
Paranormal theory. I mean, I would be remiss if you didn't know what paranormal theory is and you knew who we are. But if you do not know what paranormal theory is, they are similar content creators to us. And we have gone on a few hunts with them. So you can check that out. Check out their videos. Feel free to post your link in the chat. I don't know if the chat's connected on whatever you're on, but if you know who we are and like us and you don't know what paranormal theory is, go check them out. You'll like them. They're great. Nobody really loves me. Yeah, well, that's why I'm a content creator, so I can get people to love me. So I'm right there with you, Vigil. Next weekend. Oh, jeez, is that New Egypt next weekend? Can I make that? Don't make me check
Weekend
my
after
schedule.
Christmas.
Weekend at. Oh, we were gonna record a podcast, but maybe we talk to Rob after this. 28th.
Sir.
Paranormal theories are all right. They're all right. Yeah, next weekend is indeed New Egypt. Well, I don't think I have any besides the fact that we were going to record a podcast. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. Because we are definitely looking for. Yeah, there's Paranormal Theories links. We posted
I just posted
at the same time.
Literally the same time.
Yeah. Oh
Got
no,
you, man.
that's because anytime we post, it posts on everything. So that's why.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I guess we will open the floor for any pressing comments, concerns, or questions, gripes, both valid and invalid, as we kind of round up the show. Thank you all for coming. This was great. We'll do this generally kind of say every 2 weeks. Did you have idols growing up in the paranormal field, and did family try to talk you out of investing? No, I have the best mom, and I know people say this all the time, and they're wrong because my mom's the best mom, and obviously their mom can't be the best mom if my mom's the best mom. No one actually. They've been very supportive. They've even bought me my first, EVP and things like that, or digital voice recorder. So I haven't had any family try to prevent me from doing what I do. As far as idols, Jim, do you have any idols growing up?
Zach Baggins.
Is that? Oh yeah, we're big Zach Baggins guys. This is a pro Zach Baggins show.
I mean, just growing up with taps,
Yeah, everyone taps. Oh, you know what? Who I want to give a shout out that probably has not never gotten a shout out, but doesn't get enough love. Johnny Paranormal, an Australian guy who frequents the Okigahara. Check his channel out. I mean, he's much bigger than us, but I used to watch him a lot. So there's an idol that isn't one of the normal idols. New Egypt doesn't disappoint. Noted. What is a place where you want? What is a place where you want to investigate but you haven't? Apparently, New Egypt is the go right now. But I mean, I have my dream hunts. Right, I want to go to the Stanley, the Queen Mary, the Winchester House.
I want to go to the Warren Museum.
The Warren Museum. I know.
Wink, wink, Rob.
Whoa. No, yeah, we've watched some recent videos, and it's getting. Is the Queen Mary painful? All right. Jason Hawes, obviously. I mean, I feel like he doesn't need the shout out, but definitely growing up watching him. Always willing to team up or help out whenever you guys need it. It was great working with you guys. Great working with you too.
Yeah, great working with you.
Valinska, I don't know who that is or if that's a place. What museum? Never heard of it. It's a private property, right? Your legs will hurt after. Oh, that's fine. I mean, Me and Jim need the workout.
Yeah, we're both sailors, so we're used to it anyway.
Yeah, we do boats. Do you go in blind without site research and see what comes out? And so
I do because I don't listen to anything he says. No, I'm just kidding.
So I'm split on this because more information is power, but also I don't want to have blinders on, and I don't like. It's hard, right? I already know a lot about a lot of famous places and just stories and history and lore, so it's almost like I don't have to do the field research on those places. But if I don't, then I can get kind of worked up and or if I do investigate and then like I get single target, like I need to figure out what's going on and doing that. So I think the first time you go to a place, it's good to go in blind and just take everything in and then do your research after the fact. And then maybe hit it another time with a more specific intended investigation for a specific axe murder house. Yeah. Me and Jim have been talking about that one.
What's that? Blue bell? No.
How do you solve a problem like Robert? Well, I guess the problem like Robert really is the solution like Robert, if you think about it. So bad cop, good cop? Yeah, pretty much. We'll let you decide who's the good or bad cop. But all right. We're almost at an hour, so we'll let any last questions trickle in. But we do want to thank you all for coming out. This was a great time. The show will be generally what's bi-monthly, or is bi-monthly twice a month or every 2 months?
Bi-monthly is every 2 months.
Okay, so we're bi-weekly because we're every other week. Is that how that works?
Yep.
Okay. So, and that's generally when we have investigation. We're going to try to maintain the bi-weekly, even if we don't have an investigation coming out, and we'll do a rewind. So, like, we'll go over an old video that hasn't been covered, or we'll just come up with a topic.
Or just travel around Reddit and show you guys posts that we find.
Rob is... the internet confirms too. Remember, everything you read on the internet about Rob is 100% true, probably. It can be either. I just went through this. Yep. Here's my philosophy on this. If Rob isn't chasing me out of the building, I didn't get the true get haunted experience. You know, I pay to get chased out of these buildings by Rob.
That's the best part.
Or the spirits, right? Yeah, I mean,
you never had a bottle of liquor chase me out of anywhere.
I'm not convinced that Rob isn't spirits chasing me out, but all right, but that's where I think we will end the show. Play us out, Jim. Everyone, thank you so much. 9:15. I'll give you a shout out. 9:15. Tune into Haunted Nights, The Conjuring House. No, you're good, Mike. We like you. Tune into that. We love the Haunted Nights. We love The Conjuring House. I'll probably go watch that after this. Jim, play us out, if you will.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh, you're trying to figure it out? Great show, guys. It was a pleasure. Part 2. Steve, happy birthday, Steve. Everyone wish Steve a happy birthday.
Steve.
Thank you so much.
Love you guys. Thank you for having us.
Stay crazy.